Hello, welcome back to the Oracle Light Tarot. I'm so glad you're here. It's not a coincidence that you found this reading. It never is a coincidence. There are no coincidences, especially on this channel. Whatever comes through for your reading, know that there is a message for you in this reading. Not everything will resonate with you, but usually something does. I don't know why I'm saying this. I never said that in the intro of my reading, but I felt I needed to say that. There's something about retreat, like a retreating or some kind of like recovery. You could be recuperating, or like, I want to say heavily thinking, contemplating on something. I feel like you're searching right now. I don't know what that's about, but I'm going to pull from my word box here. I think I'm going to start on Wednesdays to make another word box just for my subscribers, like a small one where on Wednesday I'll post, we'll call it Word Wednesday. How cheesy, right? Like Taco Tuesday, but we'll do Word Wednesday, and I'll post and remind you guys, and have you guys, whoever wants to participate, you can put in your own word. It could be whatever word you want. I would stay away from names. Yeah, so no names, but words. And you can pick whatever word you would like. I'll write it just like I would on here and put them in their own little bucket. And then next Wednesday, I'll do a reading. I'll either make a short or a reading. Most likely a reading, because I don't do shorts yet. I'm not sure about them yet. But we'll do something like that. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for that. Today is Wednesday, isn't it? Hold on. Actually, yes, it is. Okay, so I will make a post today, and you guys can start with that. So, all right. So it'll kind of go like more personal, I guess. You know, for the person who picked that word. But Spirit, what is the message today? What is the message for them today? What did they come here to hear? What do they need to know? What would you like to say to them? The number 6 is standing out. I don't know. Somebody's gluten-free. That's just so random. I don't know. There's something about alcohol. Wow, some fell out. Looks like some fell out. Rome. Birth. Point of view. Did I say a birthday? No, I didn't say anything about a birthday, right? That's so odd, the feeling about this, because there's like, it's like I thought I said birthday, or thought I had mentioned birthday. I don't know. Multiply. So there's something about like life path numbers. We have recover. Ready. My mind is very blank right now, so I wonder if this is going to be another charades like reading. Confusing. Yeah. Recover. Didn't I say that? Right, guys? Do you see how that works? Sometimes I'm like, am I teaching people how to manifest with words, or am I like, you know, sometimes I just question that. Like, am I picking up on, sorry for all that background noise. I'm in the basement, and those are the pipes. It's an old basement. This is an old house. We have karmic here also, but didn't I say that? Didn't I say there's something about recovery, or retreating? You're needing some kind of rest. The birth is coming off as like creation energy. There's like some kind of karmic cycle. Cycle. You could be noticing like a bicycle. You could notice twos, fours, lots of fours, lots of fours. Could be like, yeah, some kind of like celebration, okay, of something that you've either birthed or created. It could be business. I'm getting the letters H, O, and M. I see somebody like, I don't know why, but I was like playing around with like a cocktail or a martini or something. I'm getting the word like mocktail. So it's like, I don't know, like pretending to drink, but they're not. They're just like eating the olive and carrying around the martini. I don't know what is happening. This is very random. Your reading is very, very random. Point of view. And there's something about that olive and the what is that? I want to say Q-tip, but it's like, it's not a Q-tip. I know what they are. They're for your teeth. You know, the little thing, the toothpick. Yeah, it's like that point coming through. The point and the tooth. What does it have to do with anything? Picking. Point. I don't know. Something, it's like when I said olive, it sounded like the words kind of meshed and almost sound like when I was hearing them in my head, the word olive, it sounded like olive, like olive, like you'll, you know, when somebody tells you you'll live, or, you know, like you're fine, you'll live, like it's like somebody saying that to themselves. I'll live, like I'll be fine. Like something like that. There's a multiplying happening. I think that's coming through with like the bicycle. It's like the twos and then fours. So there's like a doubling up and there's like a celebrating, you know, because it's giving like 4 of wands. Like, dude, you'd be seeing 4s like crazy, actually. So many 4s. There's something about like not allowing your point of view to roam, you know, or get like distracted. To stay ready, because we have ready. And I'm getting like ready. It's coming off as like video game or something. Like Ready Player, that movie Ready Player One. That's a good movie. There's like, I feel like somebody's like right on the tip of something, like the it's like some kind of quest for knowledge, okay, that you're going on. It's giving like Page of Swords energy, but you're holding the Q-tip, no, the toothpick. Why does Q-tip? This is something about like maybe needing to listen or something, because Q-tip keeps coming through. What the heck? Cleaning out, I don't know, maybe like what you're listening to, because yeah, like it's that confusing part. Okay, that's the confusing part. What's so confusing? This isn't, I don't know if this makes sense to you or not. It has to, because kind of confusing to me. I feel like Spirit's just showing me like charades again. I don't know what if it has to do with the alignment with March 3rd and how, or maybe are we in Mercury retrograde? I don't know, but it's very left to interpretation. What is that? Why? I feel like your extrasensory perception is maybe you're recovering from the alignment, or like something that is happening during this alignment. And there's something about standing differently. Why would you be holding? I'm just stuck on that, holding the Q-tip and the toothpick. Why I'm saying Q-tip and it's a toothpick, but it's the Page of Swords. Q-tip. Softer. There's like something about like the ends, right? They're both like these like line, right? Like this is a toothpick and they have the fuzz ball on the cotton on each side. They're softer, right? Versus like a toothpick, which is like pointy. I don't know why Spirit's showing me this, but it's like the toothpick, the softness, going in your ears, right? Cleaning your ears so they don't like perforate your eardrum, right? So it needs to be softer for something, I don't know, reason. And the toothpick goes in your mouth. It's sharper. It gets in between your teeth, picking out the leftovers. Something like you. What is happening? What is happening? Spirit, what is happening? I don't know, there's some kind of leftover residual energy, okay, that you could be wondering, like, why? Okay. I feel like it's not good to stay too focused on that part. It's good to know, but there's like this hangman energy of like surrendering, like just letting something go, okay, and gaining some kind of new perspective, so that way it could be more like Page of Wands, like enthusiasm, and so you could begin anew, like birth something new and release some kind of like karmic energy that's like just kind of like it's like there's this clearing out or whatever. It's like like how food is stuck in between your teeth. You're just out there like picking it, I don't know. Cleaning out your ears. Like your ears are already clean, but you're just gonna, what it almost feels like. I don't know if this, is making sense to you, if you're getting it. I don't know. But I can feel it, and it's like Spirit wants me to describe it in this way for some reason, because that gets me so like annoyed lately in my readings. So when I say the word, when I'm like Spirit, and I've been like really struggling kind of like back and forth with that a little bit lately, and I used to do this on my old channel too, where sometimes I would say Spirit, and then sometimes I would just say me or you, or and I really feel like I've been, I don't know why I'm even saying this, but it's like, I don't know, does it even matter? Does it matter? I was like some kind of like bondage to like allowing myself to like transform or move on from certain energy that just like it doesn't resonate, but like it's in the feeling of and I don't know what this has to do with. It has something to do with your reading, but it just feels like maybe you practice a certain, I don't know, religion, or like, I don't know what it is exactly, but you've practiced in some certain way, right? And it feels odd to release, like everything has their place, you know, when you're learning, when you're moving through. You could feel like burdened to some kind of like responsibility, or like the need to, it just feels very self-imposed, honestly, like if that makes any sense. Like you're doing it to yourself, okay? You're relying on something. You feel like a responsibility to some kind of energy that you're knowing needs to be like cleared. That you know needs to be released, something like that. I feel like there's this new beginning now for you to, it's a more assertive energy. So you could be like of recently feeling like anxious, like there's like this familiar anxious energy coming through, you know, it's just like in the air. And maybe they're like self-destructive like patterns. It's that energy again of being bonded to something. And I feel like you're really ready to like, there's a baby bottle in here that I saw. You're really ready to like release that energy. What do you think you could hear? You're really ready. Yeah. It's like to release yourself, allow yourself. Yeah, it's like you want to listen. You're listening to what's inside of your own inner knowing, your inner heart. It's a stethoscope right here. You're listening to your heart, right? It's this a little camp sign. Following the signs. Following the signs. Yeah. And because of this release, it's like whatever this journey, or it always feels like a journey. Right? Doesn't it feel like we're always on like something like it's just like this quest, right? For more knowledge, to know more, right? Or for some kind of like new opportunity, right? To get somewhere, right? But I feel like once you really start listening to like what's in your heart, yeah, you'll get there faster for some reason, or you'll already be there. We have this, what is this, a fairy? Fairies are very mystical, you know. It's something about like this air energy. This air energy. What is it? I don't know. It's the number 6, like that's coming through again. Like 6 of Swords. There's some kind of like transitioning. There's some kind of like movement. I don't know. It's just very air-like movement. Free. You know, air. You're like, yeah. It's like a freedom from being weighed down or tied down to, I don't know, maybe you want to look into fairies, or like the origin of fairies, or and then we have like, this looks like a right? I think this what they call a monarch, right? An emblem, or like a monarch, or like standing for like royalty, right? royalty, like already knowing. Oh, royalty. And then I heard the word loyalty. Like maybe you have some kind of like loyalty. And I'm seeing this ladder here. I'm gonna get it. So the ladder's like climbing, right? You climb the ladder. A fairy doesn't have to climb the ladder, she just flies. Which is very air-like quality. It's not tethered to any type of like bondage. I want to say like faith or spiritual guidance. Who do fairies listen to? I don't know. Are they talking to spirit also, or do they have a fairy king? I don't know anything about fairies, honestly. But there's something about like that air quality of like being like very airy fairy. And she just watches other people use the ladder to reach the heights that she reaches. And other people have to use like tools or ladders. There's something definitely before your reading coming through. I think it has something to do with yesterday's reading. There's just very Einstein or philosophy. I don't know. Like something a theology. Is it a theologist? Somebody who has a lot of like, you know, so who obviously went on some kind of quest for knowledge. We were always on a quest, you know. There's something about like the Queen of Pentacles energy, like some kind of like practical wisdom and creating. And the pentacle always represents like, yeah, like the material, right? And creating something. She's very practical. She's very nurturing. She's very abundant. So is the king. I'm getting like that monarch energy here. Versus like a knight who's like, I don't know, they are very reliable, they're responsible, and they're steady. There's like steady progress, like the Knight of Pentacles. They're thoughtful in their creation. I don't know, but there's something about going with the flow here. So maybe you're, I feel like someone's like, get to the point. What else would they like to say? Something about fish. Fish. My daughter asked me the funniest freaking question. She was playing with the dog on the floor. Look, we have another crown. Yeah, you might want to watch the video from yesterday, Kings and that song by, I think it's Ava Max or Ava Marx, Kings and Queens. I think, where did I write it down? To all of the kings. We'll pop champagne and risotto. Baby, you're not dancing on your own. I'm gonna change it and make it a world you won't forget. Right alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own. So I feel like there's a pentacle standing here too. And the Harry Potter energy coming through. Something about triangles and circles and half circles and yeah, like philosopher. Isn't it like the Philosopher's Stone? Harry Potter and the Elder's Wand, the Cloak of Invisibility. like a school for knowledge. Like, I feel like there's somebody who's just always learning. I don't know, in the mode of learning. But it's funny because I got sidetracked, and I was going to tell you about what my child said to me. And she was playing on the floor with the dog, and she says, who the hell decided that dogs were going to be pets? Who decided to make a dog, you know, the first a pet, you know? And I was like, I know. And then I was thinking, you know, I was trying to recall or think of anything I could think of and for why or when that happened or whatever. You know, just wondering. And then I really got to the thought of like, and I don't know what this has to do with anything. There's so many dogs, like so many breeds too. And I was like, there's so many breeds of dogs, like so many different kinds of dogs, and they're all unique, and they have like their own uniqueness, you know? And then she was like, and fish. Who would have ever thought of taking a fish and putting it in a fish tank and taking it home, like to keep it, to watch it, to look at it, to stare at it, you know? And I was like, I know. How weird. I was like, I don't know. Maybe they were lonely. That's what I thought. I thought maybe if I was a lonely person and I came in contact with an animal like a fish, you know, I go, maybe it was like by accident, you know? I don't know. And somehow came along. Maybe they dropped their cracker on the edge of the lake and a fish came up and ate it. And they were lonely that day, and they're like, hello, fish. And, you know, and they just felt not lonely anymore. I don't know, because something showed up in their loneliness. I don't know. So why is that coming through, Spirit? And there's this energy of like, I heard something about Egyptians and being light as a feather and the attachments we have. I was like a lot of philosophy coming through, or history, or I don't know. But it was really making me, it's like the point of view part that's coming through. It's like, and then how there's so much, right? There's just so much. I want to say like legacy and history and you're like, who do I trust? What do I believe? Should I believe this? Does math even make sense? Like, or did we just like make some kind of parameters for ourselves to experience math in a way where we can experience our like world somehow in another form, you know? But there's this really like, I don't know, practical wisdom of what we personally experience, right? What we personally experience. I'm seeing somebody at like a grand piano and someone's playing beautiful music, and they just have like, it's like the first time they saw a piano. I don't know why it's coming off like this. And they lift up the, you know, there's this part of the piano, like the body of it. I don't know what you would call that. I'm sure there's a specific word. There's something about that coming through too. It's like not even needing to know the specifics or the inner workings of something, but they're like, they hear the beautiful music that this person is playing, and then they walk up to the piano, and then, you know, in curiosity, and then they open it, and they're like, they see all the little things going off, right? This person playing the keys, they lift the piano inside, there's like these, you know, it's going off, and they didn't even realize there was like this whole other like inner workings of that was like hidden. It's giving like the cloak of invisibility. I don't know. So something about what's inside, right? And I think that was coming through in the reading from yesterday. Oh my gosh, we're at 29 minutes. So I'm going to try to keep this short. Give it like 5 more minutes here, but there's something about that, listening to what's in your heart, or the inner workings. Maybe it's the inner workings of our own hearts, and trusting. Maybe you're wondering, like, am I a good person? Am I a shallow person? Or maybe there's like, I'm seeing the words time to move on. There's a new beginning. I feel like there's like a death, like a spiritual death, like a death to some kind of like old self, like karmic. Yeah, karmic. I'm seeing the word. Yeah, it's right here, but I'm seeing the word karmic. Yeah, there's like, it's time to move on. It's giving 4. It's giving like 13, the death card, but it's also giving like 4. It's like time. Now it's time to do the math. I don't know. 1 and 3 is 4. I don't know, which makes that the 4 of Wands. Celebration. Now it's time to celebrate. Now it's time to feel stable. Yeah, it's like having the drink in your hand, but choosing to eat the olive. I don't know what's happening with that, Spirit. It's like taking a piece to something. It's like, and here we have the treble clef that's sticking out to me. It's like the beginning of a song when the frequency is about to rise, like higher notes, right? It's like letting you know. It's the beginning of something. There's something that somebody has, like, I don't know, it's like figured out, but it's only like a portion. It's only like a part. What do you want? What are we supposed to know about this? What are we supposed to know? There's something about switching hands, like the left hand versus right hand. I'm pulling with my right hand. I don't have no clue what's happening. Something about friends. What do you want them to know about this? What is the point of this? Because we're going to end it after we pull this. What do you want them to know? What do you want them to take away from this reading? Oh my gosh, there's a few that fell on the floor. And immediately, didn't I say something? There's like only a portion or a part. So there's like another part to something. And I feel like you could be like, I don't know. It's almost like we've lived like half our life or something. I don't know. And now we're like on to the other half. Something like that. Right on. Okay. They're like, there's more to discover. There's always more to discover. End of the rainbow. It's like the rainbow is like all the fractals of light, right? And it's like you use the rainbow as like the ladder. You're on it, you're walking over. But there's something about the points A to point B. So it's like getting, I don't know, there's something about like a curvature or like the rainbow, like on it, walking it, I don't know what, versus like getting from A to B, and versus like some kind of like extension. I have no clue. And then we have invite. Yeah, it feels like a birthday party. There's like some kind of party going on, right? Oh, and I almost didn't even see this one. Make sure there's no more on the floor, but game plan. Yeah, it's almost like a game plan. That's what you want them to take from this. There's a plan. It's a game. It's almost going to remind me of like this pentacle, and we're inside it, and we're just kind of like, meh, 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 meh. And, or we could just walk around it. We could either be in it, experiencing it, creating it. I don't know. It feels like the star just feels like the material part, like the inner workings, and you're like in there messing around, doing all the things. I don't know why it's coming off like this. Or you could be like on the outside, looking in on what's taking place and seeing something from like an outer perspective. Anything else? There's a crow cawing like crazy. It's like Ready Player One. I don't know. I feel like the video game thing coming through is like, are you ready? You ready, Player One? It's like it's your turn to go in now and materialize. I don't know if you've been like on the outskirts looking in. But you've been following the signs, I'm hearing. You've been following the signs. Maybe you've kind of camped there for a while on this outskirts. But there's something about like attachments and staying light. And also like, I don't know if it's like philosophical legacies or history, or it's that energy, the burden of needing or having some responsibility or needing to like delegate something, like yeah, it's giving, I don't know why, but it's giving like religions or like being told what to do or what to follow. Use these tools type thing versus, you know, like there's a tool like the stethoscope, listening to your heart. Others could even use it to listen to your heart, right? They could listen to the beat. There's something, I don't know why this is coming through, but they could listen to it beating and hear little quirks and murmurs and, you know. But they would probably need another tool to like look even closer, you know, like an echocardiogram, or look even closer at your heart. Measure it in some way, right? Like a doctor. Like, obvious. This is not medical advice, guys. But it's like something about those tools, you know, they just keep getting more advanced or something. And I feel like that's like part, it's almost like the math of it all, even like the music notes, like somebody can write music and you can write music in so many different ways and it sounds different, right? But it's like the notes and the treble clef and the paper, and they're all tools like to put something down. I don't know, right? Put something down on paper, right? From your experience of it. I feel like this just got like very deep and I'm trying to leave. Oh, what time is it? Yeah. But there's nothing like I feel like it's just so much information. It can get confusing. Do we really need to know where dogs came from or why we have dogs like as pets? Who was the first pet? Do we? No, I don't know. Does that really matter? I don't know why that's relevant. And there's something also coming through about like this outer, like, yeah, the outer space, outer limits. Reaching an outer limit. It almost feels like somebody getting stuck on a loop. This could feel very loop-like energy, which just causes like anxiety. Oh. Spirits, I think like it's okay to stay practical, to experience new things. It's whatever you focus on, because we have the word multiply, it's going to multiply. It's just, it's always seemed to do that. So when you focus on it, I feel like Spirit wants you to know this. So maybe you're not. Spirit's saying get in the game. I'm hearing the words. Get in the game when you're ready. Recover. Get in the game when you're ready. And recover when you need to. Because you could feel very confused. Because your point of view is roaming. It's almost like someone doesn't know what to think, what to believe, you know? Like there's some kind of like self-evaluation you're doing on yourself. And that's the key point there, is like you're doing it on yourself. There's this, that I think the feather sticking out is like with your soul being light, like the Egyptians, or your I don't know if it's your heart or your soul or whatever they say. Is that really the point? But the point being is staying light and not attached to, it's that air energy. Feathers are on birds. It's like you just found the feather. You didn't find the whole bird. You just found the feather. And the feather is intricate in itself. The feather is very intricate in itself, right? But you kind of know these things about it. You're like, it belongs to a bird. And birds fly. And then you know all these other things about birds. There's so many different kinds of birds. And how birds could even be, like, going back in history, they could even be related to dinosaurs. It doesn't even matter. There's something about that. And there's something about, like, the heaviness of that. Like, when it's fun, right? And it's, when you're curious, it's fun. And you're just kind of diving into it. But do you ever reach, like, an answer or an end? That always leads to something else, which always leads to something else, which always leads to something else, which always leads to something else. It's like this multiplication, or they're like of connection. There's always like this other piece you're always going to find. It's like it's a never ending story. And I don't know what this has to do, but, well, I'm being shown this because you're on some kind of new beginning. You could even be taking some kind of risk. And I'm seeing zeros and ones, like yeah, like new beginning. And you're choosing maybe even like one thing to focus on, like a point of view. And with the right on, you're getting very specific. I feel like you're being invited. It's like you're being invited to this game of experience of life. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope that this made sense to you. If you haven't done so yet, please go ahead and click the like button or the subscribe button if you haven't already. And don't forget to put in the words for a Word Wednesday. I know that sounds cheesy. Maybe we'll find a better name for it. But we'll do it on Wednesdays. And then we'll pull it the following Wednesday. I'll do a reading with your guys' words. I'll pull it on camera and everything. So I just thought that would be fun. And I hope you guys choose to come back again. I'll talk to you later. Bye.